And good morning. Welcome to Kelowna Now Live. It's Jason Mann with Jim Check. And today in our background, we have a bit of a different situation today.
Big White.
Yeah.
Looks like a great weekend to go up to Big White. Got lots of snow.
Mild temperatures.
Pretty amazing. So that's why we thought we'd put it up there and kind of big shout out to Big White.
Yeah.
In case you're considering going, here's the thing that says, "Oh, I should go."
Have a look at that.
Push over the edge.
And speaking of mountain roads, Hwy1 and Hwy3 are going to be closed for avalanche control work.
Yeah, so the BC Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure said Hwy1 will be shut down in both directions between Moseley Creek Bridge and Glacier National Park. West boundary, the closure will be between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. To do that work. No detour for that one. And then there's a closure along Hwy3, which will also affect traffic in both directions. That's not my phone. It will shut the road between West Avalanche Gate and the East Avalanche Gate near Stag Leap Provincial Park between 11 and 3. And there is an alternative route there via Highway 3A and the Kootenay Lake Ferry. Who doesn't want to go on a ferry ride?
Yeah, that's a good alternative route, right? Well, police have reissued an appeal to the public as they search for a man with links to the BC Interior. Sam Weiss, 23, wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for removal from Canada.
So they have reissued that appeal. And they said he has links to Kelowna, Kamloops, and Merritt. He's wanted for that alleged home invasion and stabbing in Williams Lake that occurred on January 14th. And he may be in the Merritt area, according to the RCMP. He should be considered dangerous, and under no circumstance should you try to approach and try to apprehend him. Just call 911. Description, you've got a picture there. Description: white, red hair, thin, green eyes.
And you'd think calling 911 would be safe every single time. However, next news story, Calgary 911 call taker charged after protected information that was shared with her was shared for organized crime purposes.
Not good. A City of Calgary employee who worked as a 911 call taker for the police faces several criminal charges after a year-long corruption investigation. Police said that officers became aware during the course of an unrelated investigation that protected information had been shared for organized crime purposes. Officers started that investigation in December of 2022 before arresting, interviewing, and releasing a woman without charge in January 23. Police say the investigators sought search warrants for the woman's devices and worked with its digital forensic team to gain access to those devices for the rest of 2023. More than 200 photos of sensitive data were located. So Marina, I'm never going to get this last name, Hwy1, yeah?
Good try.
You can go on KelownaNow.com and you can read that yourself and say how terrible I pronounced that name. 58 years old, has been charged with a breach of trust, fraudulent use of a computer system, and mischief related to computer data. She has been released from custody and scheduled to appear in court in March.
Well, you know, those narrow bands of rain that we get through BC at this time of year and other times of the year, atmospheric river could bring 300 millimeters of rain. That's, I guess, 30 centimeters, and potential flooding to parts of BC.
It seems like we're going from drought to flooding. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of in-betweens. Officials in BC are warning of heavy rainstorms for the South Coast region starting on Saturday. Environment and Climate Change Canada says West Vancouver Island and Coast Mountains could receive up to 300 millimeters of rain over 5 days, so that's like 30 centimeters, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Saturday, January 27th to Wednesday, January 31st. The Howe Sound area could receive as much as 250 millimeters, while inland Vancouver and parts of Fraser Valley could receive 150 to 120 millimeters of rain. This narrow band of heavy precipitation, also known as an atmospheric river, which occur frequently in the fall and winter in BC. So that's kind of a normal occurrence. Flood watches are currently in place for the South Coast, Fraser Valley, and Vancouver Island.
And if you've ever sought a personalized license plate and been rejected, you'd be among 2,500 other people who've had their license plates rejected this
way.
way.
A TV game show, I think it was called Bumper Stumpers or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Figure out some of the names, right? So they rejected about 27% of the names that were submitted. They get about 9,500 requests a year, and then here's some of them. Like, and I don't know, can you? Well, I guess you can't pull that up. Some of the names, but I couldn't get it. There's like 20 they have. You can go to clonanow.com and you can kind of pull them up. Some of them
play your own version of bumper stumpers.
Yeah, so yo so slow. You so slow, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you so slow.
Too fast for you. Oh my God, move. Fireball, so high, unsafe.
Didn't
DNT
hit.
Didn't hit.
Yeah.
Don't hit.
Don't hit.
I have no idea. IXL R8. I extra 8? I have no idea. Fast, obviously that one's easy. Rocket, crash. Here's one that's controversial for sure. You're not allowed to have unvaxxed on your car.
Yeah.
Maybe get yourself a sticker. No law. Yes, officer. Undercover. Amen. Nobody wants Jesus on their car, I guess.
That seems like an odd.
Target, TSN, and Porsche were disallowed because they are trademarked names. So that one makes sense.
And Peachland Council could be asking the province to include the district in a new principal residence requirement for short-term rentals.
I believe they're looking for an exemption. I believe Penticton's looking for the same thing. Hopefully Kelowna applies for something like that too. So Mayor Patrick Von Minsel submitted the notice of motion, which includes a request for council to discuss the matter at the February 13th meeting. They want some, currently the district is exempt land under the Short-Term Rental Accommodations Act. When the province announced the legislation in fall of 2023, they said the new principal residence rules applies to municipalities with populations of more than $10,000. Peachland's population about half of that. The notice of motion says the council has identified increased housing choice as a priority within their strategic plan. So that meeting goes February 13th and begin at 7 p.m.
All right. And we have some video of a tactical team training situation that was happening in the Landmark area.
Look out the window there. What's going on down there? So Kent and Nick went down there, and we got some video to show you.
RCMP emergency response teams were active in the Landmark area today, but it's a drill. We'll say right off the bat, it's training for the Central Okanagan emergency response teams. They're at the corner of Dunn Street and Bedford, playing through various scenarios. You see them going into the homes with battering rams. There's people who put themselves in as perpetrators who get arrested. They're experimenting with flashbangs and the use of their weapons, but just to be clear, there are no real bullets. Any flashbangs are done with a replacement, a less loud or dangerous replacement for things like that. And they're going through their training exercises, interestingly, right next to a daycare. Obviously, people in the area are informed ahead of time, so they don't need to be alarmed by what they're seeing. This is just emergency response teams getting brushed up on their strategies and their performance should the real need arise. At the corner of Dunn and Bedford, it's Kent Mulgat with Kelowna Now.
Bedford, that sounds like Dunn and Bradstreet.
Yeah.
That's like a Toronto thing. There you go.
Huge rebound in the number of passengers at the Kelowna Airport in 2023. And as we know, a lot of expansion happening there.
It's our SAM seminar there. Initially, Kelowna Airport didn't know if it would make it or not, or make that $2 million tally, because by the end of 2023, I think the number came in at, you ready for the big number?
Hit it.
2,032,624. An 18% surge from 1.7 million passengers in 2022. And that's after the recovery kind of started after the pandemic, because when in 2021, the annual passenger was down to like 737 and 829.
Wow.
So like we're at double, right? So before that, yearly counts were comfortably above 2 million, including the record high of 2,059,030 in 2018. So Kelowna is well positioned to break a record in 2024. So that's good news. I mean, that airport is a big deal for this area, right?
Moving lots of people.
As the largest metropolitan area, the region, Kelowna has a population of 240,000. It has the biggest airport and serves a catchment of up to 750,000 people. That means airlines flock to YLW to offer nonstop flights, and those carriers include WestJet, Air Canada, Pacific Coastal, Flair, Alaska, Air North, Sunwing, Central Mountain, operate about 70 flights in and out of the Kelowna Airport every day. So we do have the CEO coming in from Flair to talk to us, which will be an interesting discussion. So that economic impact of that is about 145 jobs and about $789 million, almost $1 billion of economic output from the airport.
It's important.
Then we got a little kudos piece. CBC did a really good piece. I watched it this morning. We're just going to show you the screenshot. This reporter did a really good job explaining the use of the Emergencies Act and the legal test for it. Because right now we're seeing a lot of discussion on the internet and everywhere about how people are defending the use of it. A lot of those defenses, though, tend to be emotional in nature. Mm-hmm. They tend to, say, well, we couldn't do this because it was based on emotion, where the CBC reporter clearly laid it out, and it says there's legal tests that need to be met, and those tests were not met. So, wow. I mean, Canada is a democracy based on law and order, not on somebody's emotional state, right?
Let's hope.
So good work on the CBC. I just wanted to call that out. So you can find that piece on, I put it on my LinkedIn as well, but you can find it. I think we'll try to put a link in the story or something like that, or even in our YouTube video, we'll put a link to that story, and you can go watch it. Good piece. Good work.
Wow. That's unusual to be praising.
Like I said, CBC has the resources, and if they're so inclined, they can do some of the best work that we can, and come back to what CBC and most people can rely on and trust them for, right? Because they do have the resources to do stuff that, a small media like us just don't have.
Fair enough. Okay. Should we check out the weather forecast?
Let's do it.
All righty. Brought to you by ATB Wealth. Realize your vision of wealth at atb.com/wealth Kelowna. We have cloudy day ahead for the Okanagan, possibly some rain showers later on, mostly in the evening, and the temperature holding steady at 3 degrees. What you see is what you get. Let's take a look around here. Here's our fine city right now, conditions. And as we look up towards the connector,
I think there's a third icicle that formed.
I know. It's melting anyways. Melting, refreeze. Melting. You think what the roads are like. Keep going, I guess, to the next image. And that's a little further down the road towards Vancouver, the top of the Coquihalla. And I think we've got one of Revelstoke there. Change it up a little bit.
Who hasn't stopped around there? There's a Starbucks off to your right. On the right there. All that stuff there.
Very familiar, right? All right. And as we look out across the weekend, chances of showers and rain basically for the next 5 days. Temperatures warming up to 8 by Monday.
And that's why we put that big white image up in our background, because if it's likely to be one of those amazing weekends out there.
Yeah, totally. All right, well, that's our broadcast for this morning. We'll be back again with more news at 4 o'clock.
We did do a live stream yesterday with Janae Herman from MNP and talking about debt. And I know that's on the minds of many, many Canadians right now. So that's a good piece for you to go and watch.
Yeah. She did a really good job of explaining, the process, how it kind of comes to be, the emotional aspects of it.
My wife went to a talk last night, I think put on by one of the financial companies in town. Danielle, I'm going to get her name, DeMarchio or something like that, was here. She's an American. She used to sit, was one of the Fed chairs way back when. Not Fed chair, she was on the Fed board, I think. And she said one of the hidden numbers that people don't see right now is the amount that's not reported on their credit bureau, on people's credit bureaus, is at the till now. Lots of times people think, oh, do you want to pay for that all at once? Or do you want to just, not on credit card,
right,
put it on a payment plan? I think I've seen Lululemon offer it. I've seen Apple offer it. Apparently Walmart offers it. So people are probably just, like, hey, I can get this on a payment plan. Mm-hmm. But then you add up all the payment plans and
it's a lot.
It becomes a bit of a trouble.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That's available up on YouTube and on our website. And stay tuned to KelownaNow.com all day as we share the latest news happenings. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our daily newsletter as well.
Until Monday. Unless we, I don't know.
4 o'clock, no?
Are we doing a live stream today? Oh, 4 o'clock. Yeah, we're here back at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're doing a live stream today? No, she's not. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think so.
Maybe we'll think of one. But anyway, until 4 o'clock, stay safe, have a great day. And it looks like a beautiful day out there.
Yeah.
So we'll see you at 4.